I'm Dr. Brad. We're going to talk about the disease process in Lyme disease. So Lyme disease is called the great imitator. I'm going to kind of go quickly through this because a lot of people know a fair amount of this. It imitates Alzheimer's. In fact, the brain banks in America that have Alzheimer's brains, if you do postmortem studies on those, 75 to 100% of those brains have Lyme disease in them. MS, it's endemic in Iceland, same thing. You got brain banks of MS people that have died whenever they did postmortem studies of those brains. 75 to 100% of those brains have Lyme disease in them. So it can be the cause of a lot of really major nightmares. Same was the case with Lou Gehrig's, dementia, malaria, more of the high fevers. With malaria have a lot more to do with Babesia, one of the main co-infections. In fact, it's not uncommon for Babesia to be bigger than Lyme disease. It's really difficult to diagnose through most channels. Arthritis, that's really a common symptom throughout, and that's kind of where it started with young people. Babesia causes anemia and really high fevers. It's actually a parasite that gets inside your red blood cells, starts eating them. Dermatitis, different kind of rashes for different things. Oftentimes that's capillaries breaking, blood cells breaking, creating red spots, different things. And chronic fatigue, Bell's palsy. The list is really huge what this can imitate at. So let's look at something. This comes out of a college. It's actually a postgraduate college. I believe it's from the chiropractic college in Texas. A guy put together in a book this issue about what disease is. This is one of his equations right here. It's Dr. Harper. And he's putting disease as a mathematical equation. Disease equals environment, that which is around us, over our resistance, that which is our internal constitution on how we function. But the same equation equals health. It just depends on the factors of environment over resistance. Which one's stronger, whether we're going to be sick or not sick and really healthy. This is one of the biggest factors of trying to determine with people with problems like Lyme disease is oftentimes the cause, why they were too broken down in the first place to fight the disease off when it came, may be a bigger factor than what they have. We've found that for years with a lot of people. And yes, you heard me right. The reason why you were too weak to fight it off may be a bigger thing to address, to actually access health than what's going on. So if we expand this question out, disease, the environment, external toxins, trauma, microbes, stress, the nutrients, over what's going on inside of us, our toxicity, inflammatory issues, cell signaling. Cells talk to each other, not just through nerve responses, but they have cellular hormones they talk back and forth with. Cell energy, that has to do with mitochondrial function, and that immune function, and a host of other things. It's the balance between those two to determine whether we're going to be healthy or not. Now, when Louis passed here, he was pretty much the father of the germ theory, and he spent his entire life studying germs. He was the one that came up with the first vaccination, as for rabies, and that really helped a lot of people. It did. A lot of people just didn't get rabies after he started using vaccinations. He devoted his whole life to studying the bugs, the germs. But at the end of his life, he looked at one of his contemporaries, one of his colleagues, work by a guy by the name of Bernard, and he says, Bernard was right. The germ is nothing. The soil is everything. And what it really meant by that, it's not so much the bug that really has the preeminent importance. It's not the bug we should be chasing after to get people well. We need to deal with the environment within. We need to deal with the global health of an individual and let that overcome the bugs the way we are designed to be. And this is one of the keys that most people are missing when they're seeking care. Everybody wants to chase the bug. Chasing the bug doesn't get people well. Healing the body, they have access to it. So it's really not about the bug. It's all about your body inside. One of the biggest keys to the pathway of healing.